In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make these hanging loops for your pot holders as well as your hot pads. I have two different patterns. This heart 4-leaf clover pattern, granny square. And I have different colors that I did for that one. I love this cotton yarn, and this one has a little sparkle to the white. And then I used bright green for the clover. This one has an ivory color, which I think is really pretty with this bright green. And then this one is a 24/7 cotton, which is fun to work with. And I get that from Michaels. It's a Lion brand style of yarn, which is fun to work with as well for these pot holders or hot pads. It's a little bit of a stiffer yarn, but it's fun to work with. You could use acrylic yarn for these projects as well, but the only problem is with acrylic yarns, if you set something hot on it, it could melt the yarn a little bit and it creates a sheen, whereas if you use 100% cotton yarn, that won't happen. And you can see how thick this one is. So you can actually grab a pot with this one without burning your hands, whereas this one, you can only set the pots. It's just a hot pad. Or you can use this design to make bags, or you can also make afghans, whatever you want. For mine, I'm just using them as hot pads and pot holders. So I have two separate YouTube video tutorials on my Helen May Crochet YouTube channel that shows step-by-step how to make this one as well as this one. Now with the video tutorials, I used a larger crochet hook, and for these I used a smaller crochet hook. I did a written pattern for these. So on my Ravelry page, I have a written pattern that has both of these designs in the written pattern. And I used a 4mm crochet hook if you like the size and the stitch on these. So if you use the 4mm crochet hook, you would have to increase to a 14. And you'll know what I mean if you're following along with the YouTube video tutorial, because in the video tutorial I used a larger crochet hook, so it will come out larger. So if you want to use the smaller hook like I did, then you would have to increase to 14. So now I'm going to show you how to create the hanging loop. And let me show you what it looks like and what you can do in your kitchen with these. So you can see how I have these Mexican tiles placed on the wood plaque. I had this made. You can pick your tiles. And if you're in San Diego, I got these from Old Town. But whoever does tiles near you, you can see if they have these. And then they have these little hooks that you can hang your pot holders on. And it looks really beautiful. So it could be decorative and also have a use for it. And these make wonderful gifts too. I also have a separate video tutorial for these gorgeous butterflies. These are so much fun to create. And I show you how to crochet this ring so you can hang them up this way. And these are 100% cotton too, so these can be used as hot pads in your kitchen. I just wanted to give you the measurements real quick for these, for each of these, if you like the smaller crochet hook. So the one on the left is approximately 7.5 inches across. And this one is also approximately 7.5 inches across. Now to make the crochet loop, I'm using my 4mm crochet hook. You'll need a tapestry needle or darning needle to bury your loose yarn ends, as well as a pair of scissors. You can choose whatever color you want for your hanging loop. For mine, I'm using the same colored yarn as my border. So this one will have the bright green loop, and this one has a sparkly white one. So first, you just have to decide which corner you're going to use to hang up your hot pad. And I'm going to use this corner. So you want to pick the corner, the stitch that you're going to start in. And then remember that you're going to be slip stitching in the next stitch over. So keep that in mind when you're picking which stitch you want to use for your loop. So I'm going to go into this stitch. And then I'm going to bring up a loop with the colored yarn that I'm using to create the loop. Then you want to chain 1. Then you just turn your work over and then tie a knot. Then you're going to make a chain of 20. So you just yarn over, go into the loop for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So go ahead, complete a chain of 20, and then come back. So then, after you have your chain of 20, you want to take your crochet hook and go into the next stitch. So the next stitch over, and then make a slip stitch. Just yarn over and pull the yarn through the stitch and the loop on your hook for a slip stitch. Then you're going to take and turn your work so that you're going to make single crochets into the loop. So then you take and go into the loop, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through both loops for a single crochet. And now you're going to make 20 single crochet into the loop. So there's 2. Three. I'll make a couple more with you and then I'll let you finish. So you just go into the loop, bring up a loop, make your single crochet, and then you just keep making 1 single crochet at a time until you have 20 single crochet in the loop, and then come back. So this is how mine looks after making 20 single crochet into the loop. And if you want to make more, if you have more of your loop showing, you can make more single crochet until the loop is completely covered. Then take your crochet hook, go into that first stitch that we made to make a slip stitch. Then you can finish off, just yarn over and just pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. So now you just get your tapestry needle to bury your loose yarn ends. So now you can take and just weave the loose yarn end through your work to bury it. That just keeps your knot from coming undone. So go ahead, finish burying your loose yarn ends, and then come back. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit like and subscribe for more of my fun videos, and I hope you have a beautiful day.